been over 17 years since I started Becoming Minimalist, and what a journey it has been. Becoming Minimalist was the first website on the internet entirely dedicated to the lifestyle. In fact, when I first started writing about minimalism, the word itself was relatively unknown. When I would go speak on the topic, many people would come to my talks just curious about the word and wondering what it meant. But over the last 10 years, the conversation around minimalism has shifted quite a bit. There are now thousands of websites, YouTube channels, podcasts, and social media accounts dedicated to the lifestyle. And I think that's great. Most people now have heard of minimalism. And even more, they have formed an opinion about it. They're not curious about what it might mean. They have already decided whether it's for them or not. I'm thrilled that the message has reached so many people and has positively changed so many lives. But I've also found that it's harder to overcome misconceptions about minimalism. This is a shame because some of the most beautiful and important aspects of minimalism are also the most misunderstood. If I could sit down with the entire world and offer more thoughts about minimalism and its importance for both the individual and society, here are the 10 things I would most want everyone to understand. Number 1, that minimalism holds benefit for everyone. Minimalism is not a trendy lifestyle that should be adopted by just a certain type of person living in a certain type of home with a certain type of decorating style. Minimalism is for everyone. At its core, minimalism is about aligning your possessions with your purpose. And that is a universal good, regardless of your personality, passions, or your net worth. Think of it this way. Owning just what you need is always better than buying a whole bunch of stuff that you don't. Excess possessions are never the best use of our limited resources. There's always something more valuable and more important that we can spend our lives pursuing. And for that reason, owning just what you need and finding contentment in that is a lifestyle that holds benefit for every single person. Number 2, minimalism is always personal and unique. If my first point requires any explanation, it is this: that there is no one-size-fits-all formula for minimalism. Owning just what you need is better than owning a whole lot of stuff that you don't need, but what you need to live your best life is different than what I need. My family's minimalist life will always look different than yours, and yours will look different from someone else's. The things we need to own will always vary based on a whole bunch of factors: your family, your career, your passions, where you live, and the goals you have for your life, just to name a few. The goal of minimalism is not to live up to someone else's version of it, but to intentionally promote the things you most value and remove anything that distracts you from them. Number 3, less is not the same as none. This is perhaps the most persistent misconception I feel inclined that I need to address. Even though it is hyperbole, the number of people who comment they could never be minimalist because they don't want to own nothing continues to surprise me. Minimalism isn't about owning nothing. It's about owning exactly what you need to fulfill your purpose and live your best, most meaningful life. Minimalists aren't trying to live with less than we need. We're just passionate about finding how much we actually do need and removing ourselves from the excess that weighs us down so that we can live the best version of the one life we have to live. Number 4, minimalism holds the key for many of our financial struggles, both as individuals and society. Credit card debt in the US is now $1.21 trillion, and the average credit card debt per American in July 2025 was $6,500. all while interest rates remain incredibly high. At the same time, the average American home has tripled in size over the last 60 years, and we consume twice as many material goods today as we did 50 years ago. It would be foolish to argue that minimalism can solve every financial inequality and problem in the world, but it can probably solve yours, at least if you're open to the idea. The first step in changing your financial situation is to realize there is a way out and there are changes that can be made, and minimalism helps you find it. Number 5, minimalism forces us to discover purpose and potential. Minimalism prompts a deeper journey into our minds than we might think. Think of it this way. Once we stop pursuing physical possessions as the goal for our lives, we are forced to look elsewhere for happiness and meaning. And so the journey to minimalism is filled with a lot of questions. What items do I need to keep? What can I get rid of? What will I spend money on now? What am I really passionate about? What will motivate me today? What legacy do I really want to leave for others? Minimalism, in my experience, literally forces us to ask deeper, richer questions about meaning and purpose than we've ever asked before. And the freed up resources of our life allow us to redefine our potential. Number 6, if minimalism doesn't lead you to generosity, you are missing its greatest joy. Minimalism, practiced selfishly, always falls short of its greatest promise. And it is possible to live a minimalist life entirely selfishly because almost every endeavor in life can be done selfishly. But the greatest joy of minimalism is how it opens us to live more selflessly, focused on others, and freed up to solve problems that exist in the world. A clean home is great, but a selflessly lived life is even better. Number 7, minimalism isn't entirely new. Minimalism is not a brand new movement in the world. It's been around for thousands of years and has been promoted by some of the most trusted and influential leaders from our past. Today, we recognize some of the people in recent centuries who have encouraged this approach to life, including Henry David Thoreau, John Ruskin. I even hear them referred to as the fathers of the minimalist movement. But minimalism predates all of them by a long shot. The minimalist lifestyle continues to grow in popularity today, but it is the furthest thing from new. Dwayne Elgin, who is often credited with bringing the phrase voluntary simplicity into the public discourse, said it to me like this. I tell people that I'm the great-great-great-great-great-grandson of this movement that got started a couple of thousand years ago with the teachings of Jesus, Buddha, and other great sages who understood the value of simplicity. What is new is not the value of simplicity, but rather the conditions of the world where it is understood. Number 8, minimalism is not political. In a divisive world, it's important to know that minimalism is not the property of any one political party or group. Online, it is promoted and lived out by Republicans, Democrats, independents, capitalists, and anti-capitalists. I fear that some people immediately dismiss the potential and opportunity of minimalism in their life because they equate it with a political ideology that they disagree with. But that does not need to be the case. Minimalism is the intentional promotion of the things we most value and the removal of everything that distracts us from it. However you believe the world should be governed does not change the benefits of minimalism in your life. I would also mention that many come to minimalism for its environmental benefits, and it certainly has them, but that is not the only door in. You can come to minimalism because of a desire for more time, less stress, financial freedom, or spiritual clarity. It's a universal principle that welcomes everyone. Number 9, minimalism will greatly enrich your spiritual faith. There's a reason almost every religious faith speaks out against the pursuit of material possessions. By its very nature, spirituality recognizes that there is more to this world than what meets the eye, and a greater worth to our being than our physical bodies. If you are a man or woman of faith, any faith, minimalism can play an important and influential role in your spiritual journey. When we declutter our physical possessions and direct our passions elsewhere, we quiet the noise of this world and open ourselves to greater spiritual pursuits. This connection is so important to me that I've written a book, Uncluttered Faith, which explores the specific link between minimalism and the life of a Christian. It explains how minimalism is God's design for our lives and focuses on the spiritual benefits we receive from it. If you're interested in knowing more about that connection, you'll love Uncluttered Faith. And number 10, minimalism is a gift to be shared. Just as we tell our friends about a great restaurant or a life-changing book, we should be bold in sharing the gift of minimalism. If you've experienced more joy, more freedom, and more peace by owning less, why would you keep that to yourself? This is why my mission here on this YouTube channel remains the same: to inspire others to own less and live more. It's a message of hope, and it's one I believe the world desperately needs. In the end, minimalism is an invitation to clear away distractions and live with greater purpose and meaning. Doesn't that sound amazing? If you haven't already, join us in owning less and living more.